This is going to be a very, very powerful new moon. Hey guys, really quick before we start this video, I wanted to film this little small intro really quick to basically let you know that this is such an important video. Like, I really hope you guys watch it. Yes, I did do individual signs and there will be timestamps, but I really want you guys to watch the first part of this video where I'm talking about the energy in general. I was channeling some major stuff and I really think it's important that a lot of you hear what I have to say. I was being very raw and honest, and I just really think you guys should watch it. So even if you don't really understand astrology, I did go over and explain everything in less astrological terms and just explain the energy really. So because this new moon eclipse that's happening is such a big fucking deal, you guys. It is so big. I cannot even express to you how big this eclipse is. This is like the set-off point. Ending a decade, starting a new one, ending a 200-year cycle, starting a new one. I mean, this is huge. So you guys really need to pay attention. The energy is super high. It's gonna be super high. But yeah, anyways, please watch this video. I love you guys. Hey, new decade, hey, new decade. What is up, my beauties, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to another video. I'm finally back. Hey, I'm a little bit sick though, but it's all good. So in today's video, we are talking about the super powerful Capricorn new moon solar eclipse that is happening on December 26th, depending on where you're at. It is happening very late at night, I believe, like around midnight. It's a really big deal. So we are going to go into each sign in this video. There will be timestamps down below, but before you go, I really want you guys to listen to see why this is such a big deal, because I am going to make some predictions in this video before we go on to the readings and all of that. I also want to say really quick, this Capricorn new moon eclipse isn't just going to affect us for a few weeks like a normal new moon would. This is going to be literally the rock that falls into the lake that ripples for the rest of the year, you guys. Up to 6 months to a year, this new moon eclipse is going to affect and change your life in some way. So you need to pay attention right now. First off, it is basically at the end / almost beginning of the new decade and ending the old decade. So that's a really big deal, but it's also a really big deal for a multitude of other reasons that I'm going to talk to you guys about in just a sec. If you would like to hear how this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse is going to affect you, your sign, the world in general, then just keep watching. Okay, so you do not have to be like super into astrology to understand what I'm going to say about this. I will just say, for those of you that are a little bit more into astrology, this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse is happening at 4 degrees Capricorn, and it's going to be right on top of the planet Jupiter, okay? And Jupiter just moved out of Sagittarius. We talked all about that in the December readings, but Jupiter just moved into Capricorn, and Jupiter is all about higher wisdom, expansion, growth, like higher learning, and it teaches lessons. But I want to reiterate this very quickly because I know a lot of people seem to have somewhat of the wrong idea about Jupiter. Jupiter is, yes, the most benefic planet, but it is not freaking Santa Claus, you guys. It does not come into your sign and just give you a bunch of gifts, right? What it does give you though is it teaches you very valuable lessons that can stick with you for a lifetime. It teaches you lessons on how to look at the bigger picture. If there are things going on in your life, Jupiter will use those things and expand them to make them more obvious, to teach you lessons. So a lot of Sagittarians, I love you guys, but a lot of Sagittarians on my Sagittarius video, when Jupiter was just in Sagittarius, are all like upset because they feel like Jupiter did not bless them the way that other people told them that it would. And that is the thing about Jupiter. It is not all love, light, rainbows, and twin flames. Like, no, it teaches you lessons. So anyways, the reason why this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse is such a big deal is because it's going to be basically right on top of Jupiter, and it's also going to be making a trine with the planet Uranus that is in Taurus, okay? And this is going to be an easy conversation, which means the energy is going to flow between these planets very easily, okay? Uranus is in Taurus. Uranus has been in Taurus. We've been talking about this on my channel too if you've been here for a while, but Uranus Uranus is the game changer, right? It shakes things up. It can cause chaos at times. It can cause like unexpected events, weird, quirky events, surprises. It's very innovative. Those are the key words when you're thinking of Uranus. So if you've ever had a really out of the blue situation that was like crazy, that changed your whole life, but that also liberated you in some weird way, that was Uranus. So Uranus is making a very nice aspect to this new moon. This new moon seems to be very, very powerful. Now for everybody, it may be affecting your chart differently, so it may not be as easy flowing, right? Anyways, it's going to be on top of Jupiter at 4 degrees Capricorn. It's going to be trining Uranus and Taurus. So this is going to be a very, very powerful new moon. It is going to probably feel like a full moon because it is in the sign of Capricorn, and even though it's a new moon, the reason why it's an eclipse is because it's on the south node. If you don't know what that means, it's totally okay. You don't need to know what it means. I'm going to explain what all of this means without planetary talk, but basically it's going to be on the south node, and the south node has to do with sweeping things away, right? It has to do with releasing. Even though it's a new moon, it is an eclipse, and it's going to be on top of Jupiter, which is all about expansion, and it's going to be on top of the south node, which is all about releasing. So in my opinion, it's going to feel like a powerful ass full moon, and it's happening at the very end of the year, just right at the end of this decade. So for that reason, the energy is going to be crazy. It's going to be very heightened, okay? So even if you don't technically normally feel the energy of the new and full moons, you will this one. I mean, it's crazy. I can already feel it. For me, it's been a little bit more draining. Also, I'm sick right now, which Capricorn is my 6th house, so there's that. It's just a lot of energy that's going on right now because we are literally clearing out a decade and even longer worth of shit. You know, like in 2020 alone, we are ending a 200-year cycle. We are starting a new I mean, it's so much shit, you guys. And I've been doing webinars on my Patreon for all $5 and up members. So if you're more interested in figuring out what 2020 is going to be like for your sign, definitely go sign up for my Patreon. We're doing another one this Sunday on the nodes. And also in my SOULOLOGY course, we've already been talking about all this stuff as well. We've also been going over purpose and the North Node and what all of it means and how to find your purpose in your birth chart. Definitely cool stuff. If you're interested, check the description. Anyways, sorry, I know I'm like all over the place. So I feel like this solar eclipse in Capricorn is really going to be us yearning for new experiences, new wisdom, higher wisdom, like yearning for something new, something better, something that maybe we thought we couldn't reach, but we want to reach higher now, but we're also being more realistic about it than we were, let's say, this past year or even years prior. I also feel like we're going to want more meaning, like things are going to need to mean something for us to do it. Times are changing, you guys, and I'm going to talk about this more here in a minute. Times are changing, like the fake, look how much I got, look at how many followers I got, like all of that stuff is going to start kind of being swept away with the South Node. We are coming into a time where things are going to be more real. Okay, reality is going to set in a little bit more, and reality is what's going to end up looking beautiful. Being vulnerable and being raw is going to be the new beautiful, okay? Especially for like the next 6 months until the nodes switch, and that's what we've been learning with the North Node in Cancer, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about in a second. So I also feel like this solar eclipse is going to bring up themes of like really wanting to understand the meaning behind the things that have happened in the last decade for you, really wanting to understand like why those things needed to happen to get you to who you are today and where you are today, you know, and really being able to find the middle ground and be okay with those things that have happened instead of constantly fighting them or constantly like, I don't understand like my life shit, you know. This Cancer and Capricorn axis that we've been going through for the last couple years now, especially since the nodes entered last year in November, has been all about recreating and reconstructing your emotional foundation, where you feel safe and where you feel secure. And if you're still using things outside of you to make you feel safe and secure, to make you feel like you're comfortable, that's not going to work anymore. What this North Node in Cancer is really actually, I think, trying to tell us is that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be stripped raw of all this mask full of material shit that we all like to wear. This like material world, like we need the material world, like, right? Like we need it to survive. but it's been taken really, really far, and it's been becoming more about living online than actually living in real life. And I'm guilty of all of these things too, so don't think I'm like shading other people, because we've all done it. Worrying more about how many followers we have, you know what I mean, than who we are as people. And really just taking this material world and these material things and things outside of us and giving our power away to them, right? And letting them define who we are. And with this North Node in Cancer, this is like, no, nah. Like, who you really are is underneath all of that material, physical energy. If you can't be okay with yourself internally, emotionally, if you can't find a home and security and comfort within yourself, then you're not going to find it without yourself. You're not going to find true comfort and security and safeness without you, without of you either. So yeah, this is going to be a strong desire to prove ourselves, really stepping out of our normal material comfort zones and stepping into our true power, which has nothing to do with anything outside of us, right? Power is not, who controls the masses, right? That is not true power. It's where you spend your time, where you spend your energy, right? Your emotions, your emotional foundation. That is true power. We all have power, but we decide where we spend that power. So if your emotions, if your energy is power and you're spending it on things outside of you or other people, or even those people that you say that you hate, if you're giving them the time of day, if that's where your energy is going, then you're giving that your power instead of keeping it for yourself. What is authentic to you? The superficial is fading away, you guys. The superficial won't cut it anymore, especially going into 2020. It's no more superficial fake shit. It's just not. It's about being real. It's about being different. It's about not following, what everybody else thinks is the right thing or other people's opinions. It's about thinking for yourself. Power is not how many people follow you on IG. It's not how many people you can get to like you or validate you, or what designer clothes you wear, or what bougie ass car you drive, or how big your house is. And see, here's the thing, a lot of people are putting all this emphasis on Capricorn, and I get it. That's where all the planets and stuff are. But the North Node, the direction that we are going in, the direction that is going to fulfill us more, the direction that's going to help us get out of the trap, the cycle, is Cancerian right now. The North Node is in Cancer, so that's where we are learning to be more a part of. That's where we are learning to embrace. And so that's where the power lies. It lies within our own emotions. It lies within our emotional foundations, our emotional selves, our childhood. So shadow work even, and that's why in my Soulology course, we worked for 2 months on shadow work to clear that shit out, right? We've been working so hard on finding the power within and not constantly giving it away to other people or other things or the very same people that we think that we hate. You know what I mean? But we're sitting here on Twitter all pissed off and feel like we have to jump back at every single thing, or those Republicans did this, those Democrats did this. It's Twitter is insane, you guys. I cannot. I'm just I've been there before. You know what I mean? And I was freaking miserable. I was so miserable. So yeah, the material world is changing, and I really think in 2020 that something is going to happen that's really going to pull us away as a society from all of this fake, look at me and look at what I own and look at what I have and look at how far I am in life and blah, blah, blah. That's going to change, and we are going to start leaning more towards being real, being authentic, being vulnerable, being emotional. A lot of people fear the word vulnerability, but it's actually a beautiful thing, and that is where your power lies. Because when everything else gets stripped away and you're vulnerable, that is when you get close to you. That is when you become your own best friend. It's so easy to get caught up in the South Node, the trap of the drama and who's here on the ranks and who's rising and who's going to be at the top of the pyramid, all of this shit, right? So it's about not using these physical things to define us or to create a mask for ourselves that we wear in front of the world. So yeah, with the North Node in Cancer, we are learning power through emotion, power through a vulnerability, power through our own energy, our own inner self-care, our own inner power, our own inner nurturing. How can we nurture our own selves, and how to truly love ourselves and nurture ourselves, the good, the bad, and the ugly, instead of constantly worrying about like who's rising to what. So some predictions that I have for this new moon eclipse in Capricorn is I think that we may see a group of people or some kind of organization, just some kind of organized group of people that try to step out of something or get away or leave something behind, or maybe even like back down from something, basically just kind of like trying to get away from something in some way. And there's also, I think, going to be something that's provoked, possibly like on a global level or maybe just on like a country level, like here in the United States. I think that there may be a lot of provoking going on. And like I said, this energy of the full moon is going to be, or I'm sorry, the new moon is going to be like a full moon. It's going to be very powerful. So chaos and high emotions and all of that is going to start coming to the surface in the forefront. And I feel like we're going to start seeing a theme, especially in January, if not already towards the end of this month, where we start seeing the mask ripped off of very powerful people. And we start seeing some truth behind the uses of power and the uses of those in power. And if you really think about it, for the past year, these themes have already been prevalent in a lot of our lives. Like I know in my own life, like I know on United States level, you know what I mean? It's been all about these themes that I've talked about in this video. And I really channeled a lot of this when I was like thinking about what I wanted to say about this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse earlier. And I was like, whoa, and like I had to write it all down. I mean, this is crazy. Like I really truly believe this with all of my heart, you guys. This is what is happening right now, and this is what is going to happen. So I think January 2020 is going to be the start of some really rocky tides, but at the end of the day, as long as your own emotional foundation is sturdy, as long as you've been working on yourself, if you've been working on finding the power within instead of giving it away to the government or other people or social media or protecting yourself with things and money and all of that, like as long as you've been working on your own emotional foundation and have been making sure it's sturdy, then I truly believe that you're going to be fine. If not, it's not too late to start. You know what I mean? It really isn't. Like start working on you. Like find your own power within. I promise you guys, it is possible. And this is another thing. Like I've been thinking about doing a video on basically my own past and with addiction and just all this shit that I've been through and how I ended up getting into spirituality. And if I can do this as hopeless as I was, I promise you, you can too. Like you can totally find your power. Is it easy? No. But it is simple, okay? It's a lot more simple than we make it out to be because our egos tell us it's complicated and it's hard. But it's not easy because we have to feel, and that's the thing. People don't like to feel anymore. We're constantly escaping through social media, through our phones, like through drugs, through anything these days. So yeah, you guys, we are starting off this decade with a bang. So definitely get ready and definitely let me know down below what you guys think about all of this and if you've been seeing these themes play out in your life as well. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get to the actual reading portion where we talk about each sign and talk about how it's going to affect each sign. And then also I'm going to draw some cards for each sign. And remember that these readings are basically for this Capricorn new moon eclipse and how it's going to affect you like on a grand scale, okay? So it's not just going to be like one and done like this week, you know what I mean? It's basically going to be like how it's going to affect your life. Definitely make sure that you watch your signs and the timestamps will be down below. I love you guys so much. If you guys have any other ideas for videos, definitely leave those down below as well because a bitch needs them right now. Trust me. I love you guys. And let's get into it. What is up, Capricorn, and welcome to your new moon solar eclipse reading. Now, the solar eclipse is happening on December 26th, in case you did not watch the first part of this video, which I would highly recommend you do. But it is happening on the 26th of December, but the energy is going to like literally be the ripple effect for the rest of the year, okay? So this is going to be something big that changes things, that sets the tone for the rest of 2020 coming up, okay? So it's really important that you are paying attention around this time, okay? So let's go ahead and see what cards you have. You have first house, the body. You have North Node, life's purpose. You have Aquarius, I know. You have the Victim card. You have the Detective card. You have Speak Truth. You have the Creator. You have Death Rebirth. And you have the Magician reversed. Wow, a lot of creating energy here. Okay, so first and foremost, before we start, okay, I feel like that's really crooked. It's gonna piss me off. Okay, sorry, I just wanted to try to fix that. Everything that I was talking about in the beginning of this video with the nodes and the astrology and all of that is happening in your sign, and then the North Node is in your opposite sign of Cancer, okay? And so this is a big deal. So you have been learning how to, basically others have been teaching you how to, like outside circumstances, significant relationships, those kind of things have been teaching you how to rebuild your emotional foundation. Now, let's just be real here. You guys aren't robots. You guys have emotions, but you guys keep those emotions really good, really nice, and really tight and wrapped up, and you build walls, right? Capricorn's just known, the Capricorn energy is just known because it's the opposite of Cancer for being a little bit more dry and not as emotional as Cancers, you know, or water signs in general, obviously. So anyways, that is what this has been teaching you. So with this new moon solar eclipse in your sign Capricorn, astrologically speaking, I feel like this is going to be a huge revelation for you. Things are going to start making sense. You're going to start wanting to do better, do more. You're going to start seeing that your inner emotions, that your inner emotional foundation affects your earthly and physical surroundings, okay? That is a huge, huge lesson for you guys that I think you guys are learning. And until you learn it, your physical and material world and the people in which you surround yourself with are going to keep teaching you lessons in some way, shape, or form, whether that's you continuing to take losses in a way, you know, or you continuing to like go through challenges, things like that. But I honestly think you guys have been through most of the worst, honestly, and I really think that this is going to be a very empowering solar eclipse for you in your sign that is going to set the tone for 2020 for you, okay? So it's really important to pay attention. Obviously, it affects everyone differently and depending on what your own chart looks like, etc., but just because it's happening on the 26th doesn't mean something's going to go down that day, okay? The energy is already heightened now before the 26th. It's going to be heightened after the 26th, but something within the next few weeks is going to happen that is really going to bring something in to the surface that needs to be let go of. Okay, so basically, I think Jupiter is going to make it very obvious to you what still needs to go, what you still need to cleanse out, or it's going to give you an understanding of what you've been clearing out and why. It's going to all start coming full circle, I feel like. So anyways, don't forget we are ending a decade as well, so that's also a big deal. But so yeah, we have first house of the body, which is crazy because all of this stuff is happening in your sign. We have North Node, life's purpose, which we were just talking about. Aquarius, I know. So this is insane. It's almost like you are coming to a moment where you are discovering your life's purpose, where you are discovering exactly what it is that your human body is here to do, what exactly it is that you are like, that you need to go forward. It's like this moment of clarity, like I was saying before, this huge revelation, and the cards reflect that already. We do have the Victim and the Detective card. The Victim card says, prevent you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others. Shadow attributes, playing the victim for positive feedback in the form of pity, and ability to maintain personal boundaries. So I think that for Capricorn, what I'm getting from this is that maybe at one point in your childhood you were like the true victim of something, and so these walls that some of you guys build up in your life to protect your emotions are to keep you from being the victim again, to keep you from being vulnerable, to keep you from being hurt, right? We also have detective. It says great powers of observation and intuition, desire to seek out the truth, shadow attributes, voyeurism, falsifying information. Okay, so a lot of truth seeking. Some of you really, because we then have speak the truth, the creator. It's like some of you guys are going to face the truth about something that you can't hide from anymore, something that you have to face, whether you were the victim of something or not, or whether, you know, you felt like you were the victim, but maybe you weren't. This is like a lot of shadow work is what I'm getting here. But through this realization, through this confrontation, and when I say confrontation, I don't exactly mean like a fight. I mean like confronting your own truth or confronting your own emotional issues that are keeping you from rising above it, right? Or that are keeping you from really like what's the word I'm looking for? Embracing your vulnerability, embracing that Cancerian energy, which is where the North Node is. And once you do this, this is going to help you find your purpose. So we also have Speak Truth and the Creator. And this is crazy because I really feel like you guys are holding back from doing something. And whatever this thing is, it's going to become like so obvious, and then once you finally do it, you are going to really discover like the meaning behind it and why, like what your life's purpose is. You're going to be on your North Node, you're going to be on purpose basically, but you have to clear out the old, right? With the Death Rebirth card here, you have to clear out the old. Also, we have the Magician, you know what I mean, reverse, and with all this Truth energy, I kind of feel like you have to let go of the defense mechanisms. You really have to let go of the defense mechanisms because they're not helping you anymore, Capricorn. They're really not. So definitely, that's definitely something you need to do. You also need to realize that you are the creator, some of which possibly of your own issues. Like, this is such a powerful moment for you guys. I feel like once you guys realize that your own, sorry, I don't know which way this is going to be going. I feel like once you guys realize that your own emotional issues create your reality, and when you can finally stop tricking yourself into believing that they don't, and really are able to find your own truth or to speak your own truth in some way, that is when you, like, this transformation process can come to an end. But the more you keep distracting yourself with, you know, things like defense mechanisms basically, the more you are going to stray away from your purpose and from finally moving on and getting over it and overcoming it, which is something that, like, you know, would be very, very good for you. And until then, you're just going to keep going in these cycles basically. So anyways, let's see, are we getting anything else here? I think this is also finding that, like, you are the creator. Like, you are, like, you have the power, like I was saying before, you have the power to create a new reality for yourself. But first, the emotional stuff has to be healed first. So hopefully that makes sense for you guys, and hopefully that resonates. Definitely let me know down below, and we are going to move on now. I love you guys, Capricorn, and you can save this video if you want to come back to it at all this year, because like I said, this reading is basically for your themes of this new moon eclipse and how it will affect you moving forward as well. So moving on to Cancer. What is going on, Cancer? And welcome to your Capricorn new moon solar eclipse reading and messages. So for you guys, this solar eclipse is happening in your opposite sign, Capricorn. So this is going to be very, very much so about your relationships, okay? Your significant relationships. And it's going to also be about yourself and where you stand in those relationships and the changes that may need to be made in those relationships if the outer part of the relationship reflects the inner part of the relationship. Now, this could be the inner part meaning as like your emotional connection, your personal connection, what you do behind closed doors, things like that. This may also be some big changes in relationships or significant relationships. And when I'm talking about this solar eclipse, remember, I'm talking about not only December 26th, but all the way until 2020 as well. So keep that in mind. But this is definitely something to do with your significant relationships. The past decade, you could be seeing people come back from the past. You could be just really reflecting on all of the shit that you've been through in relationships in the last decade, okay? You could also be possibly changing something. There could be some stuff that comes up around joint finances, shared resources, things of that nature. So that's also something that you may see come up, the themes that you may see come up, okay? But those are the biggest themes astrologically speaking. And this, since the North Node is in your sign, this is all about finding that emotional foundation within you instead of other people, okay? So let's go ahead and see what your cards have to say. The first card you have is Black Moon Lilith Mystery, and then you have third house messages. You have Mother, Fitting, and Mystic. Ooh, okay. Wow. Okay, for your tarot cards, you have the Nine of Wands, the Page of Swords, you have the Revolutionary, and you have Surrender. Okay. Wow. So, this is very interesting, Cancer. So, a lot of communication stuff, possibly even communication barriers, okay? I feel like you're not getting answers from someone. There may be some sexuality stuff with Black Moon Lilith here as well, which kind of does make sense because the ruler of your 8th and your 7th is in your 7th. So basically, there definitely could be something going on with you sexually. And when I say sexually, it just doesn't mean like banging, okay? Like, it doesn't just mean intercourse. It could just be with your own confidence, with your own confidence in your sexuality, that type of thing. But there's something going on with your femininity, really, with Black Moon, Lilith, Mother, Mystic, and third house messages. It's like you've been receiving messages, or you've been having trouble communicating this, or you've been silent about it in some way. And I feel like you've had a wall up with the Nine of Wands and the Page of Swords here. It's like you've had a wall up and you've been not wanting to express what's going on in your head. You've been protective of it, if that makes sense. And so I really think that whatever's been holding you down or chaining you down when it comes to possibly being vulnerable, or possibly being, what's the word? I just had it. Expressing, I guess, your true emotions or your true desires, or codependency that's coming up too. That's the word I was going to use. Something here with this new moon solar eclipse is going to get put into place. Sorry, I'm so used to like flipping the cards around. It's going to get put into place where basically there may be something that you have to surrender to, and it may feel hard, it may feel sad, it may feel like you have to let something go. There's something that you've been fighting to keep for a while, and I feel like, okay, look, with Mother here, it says nurturance, patience, unconditional love, joy, and giving birth to life. Shadow attributes, smothering or abandoning, instilling guilt for becoming independent. So this could be issues with your own mother from childhood, or this could just be issues in your own mothering skills. But we also have Mystic, which says revels in intimate union with the divine, okay? You need to mother yourself. That is where your connection with the divine comes from as a Cancer. That is where you are going to feel spiritually tapped in. And if you've been getting weird synchronicities or weird messages, that's what they've been trying to tell you, okay? You need to learn how to nurture yourself. Exactly what I was talking about in the beginning of this video. So if you did not watch the beginning part where I talked all about what's going on definitely go watch that, because I talked a lot about you as a Cancer, because we are dealing with Cancer and Capricorn energy a lot. But I feel like you need to surrender to that mothering instinct in you instead of constantly mothering everybody else. And this is going to lead to a revolution. Okay, this is going to be revolutionary for you, Cancer. Once you can nurture yourself the way that you nurture others, like, you are so damn powerful, it's not even going to be funny, right? And I feel like some of you may be in a position where you have to defend yourself verbally, or someone is defensive towards you. Someone's maybe not letting you in their head, because there's like a lot of communication weird block issues here. So that's something that I'm kind of getting as well. So definitely let me know down below if this resonated, Cancer. I think this is very, very interesting. Kind of not all the way what I was expecting, but it's cool. And remember, this energy can affect you up to the next year. So yeah, definitely let me know what you're thinking down below, and we are going to move on to the next sign. What is going on, Aquarians, and welcome to your Capricorn new moon solar eclipse reading. So we are going to go over a little bit of the astrology and how this is going to affect you astrologically, and we're going to read a few cards for you to see how this Capricorn new moon eclipse is going to affect you not only in the near future, but literally for the next year. So this is such an important time. So if you didn't watch the beginning of my video, I definitely would do that so you're filled in. But let's go ahead and get into it. So basically, Aquarius, like we've talked about, this new moon is happening in your 12th house, okay? The sign right behind you. So you are clearing out some karmic shit, man. You are literally you've been on like a cleaning spree for a while now. I'm sure you guys are all nodding like, yes, bitch. You guys have been cleaning the shit out of your lives, clearing, releasing, letting go, ending karmic cycles that have went on far too long, and really looking into more spiritual aspects of life, and a healthier life, really, like a healthier life that fits you, a healthier day-to-day routine, a healthier ritual, like healthier rituals, a healthier work environment, things like that, things that really emotionally connect with you on a personal and safe level. You know, a work environment or a day-to-day routine or even a health routine that feels safe and secure, and that's where your focus needs to be right now, okay? So this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse is kind of like I said before, it's basically like dropping a rock into a pond, like the ripple effect, right? That is what this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse is. So for you guys, it's going to ripple just like with everyone else for like the rest of the year, but for you guys in particular, it's going to affect you in themes of letting go, releasing. This is going to be like a really high understanding of why you've been releasing, why you've been clearing things out, why things went the way they did, why things have had to end. The energy could be very high, but it could be a little bit more subconscious for you guys. Your dreams could be very, very insane, weird, eccentric, and crazy right now. You could be having a lot of different synchronicities, and some of you, it would be a great time to look into forms of healing, different kind of healing modalities, energy, just all of those types of things would do so great with you guys right now. So that is kind of what I'm picking up for you guys, astrologically speaking, in a short nutshell, or else this video would be forever. And we're going to talk a little bit more about it in the January individual sign videos anyway. So let's go ahead and see what your cards have to say. We have Void, Aquarius moon missing. North Node, life's purpose. Oh my God, Aquarius, already this is like just a huge understanding, like finally things making sense, finally things showing themselves, like finally a new perspective. It's like you can see clearly now, like you can see what you couldn't see before. You can finally move forward. You can finally see the future. You can finally see the direction that you're headed, and it's going to feel amazing. And I mean, it may not be like, oh my God, rainbows and twin flames, right? But it may be more of like, I see what I need to do, and I see where I need to go because this isn't working. And you're going to be able to very obviously see what needs to be cleared out still, or what obstacles may need to be overcome in order for you to reach your purpose, right? So Anyways, we also have Mother, which Cancer just got, and Lover. Interesting. Two cards that look a little bit weird together for a multitude of different reasons, but yeah. So Lover says great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something. Shadow attributes, obsessive passion that harms others, self-destructive devotion. And then we have Mother, nurturance, patience, unconditional love, joy, and giving birth to life. So I feel like for some of you guys, not all of you, I'm going to read this I'm getting quite a few different things, so bear with me if this doesn't relate right off the bat. Some of you, I feel like, may be in a situation that has, whether it's with a romantic relationship, a family member, a friend, someone that maybe relies on you or that you rely on a little bit too much, where it's kind of like they're overstepping their boundaries in a way, but you feel like, oh, well, there's such this connection between us that you don't really want to like, you feel like it's okay, but at the same time, you're a little bit uncomfortable, okay? And so I think some of the things that you're going to be seeing definitely have to do with things that it's time to let go of regarding certain people or situations that may be holding you back, that may be dependent on you, or that you may be depending on in some way. Like, for instance, this is just an example. Maybe some of you guys have a significant other or even a family member that treats you like they're your parent, like you're their parent or something, you know what I mean? And like you need to do everything for them, and it's really uncomfortable to you, you know? So that could definitely be the case for some of you. But you know, for some of you guys, I feel like it's family. For others of you, I feel like it's a friend or a romantic partnership. I'm not sure. So let's see what other cards we have. We have Underworld and Movement. Okay, so yes. So you guys, I literally see someone here just like coming up from the underworld, and that's what that void, of course, missing is. It's like through hell, because let's just be honest, like Aquarians have not had an easy time these last few years with all this Capricorn energy being the sign right before yours. It's like you guys are coming out from the woodwork, basically coming out of nowhere and transforming, like finally moving forward. You can see this direction. But there may still be, like, you may still be scared to cut the ties with a situation that has been, that's kind of holding you back still. Let's see. Or you may still be dependent on someone because you're scared to, from what you've been through, you're scared to like lose it all because you feel like I've lost so much, I've been giving up so much. But this situation I feel is karmic, okay? I really do. Even though it's next to North Node, life's purpose, like, I really do feel like this is karmic, okay, intuitively. So we also have the Two of Wands and the Wheel. So yes, you're scared to pull the trigger on something, Aquarius. You are so scared to pull the trigger on something. And I think this new moon is going to be a very big kind of like bomb that goes off for you. That's like, yeah, you're ready. You know, it may even push you a little bit and you're like, shit, like, definitely some big unexpected change happening here, that's kind of forcing a decision on you almost, in a way, I feel, for some of you. And for others of you, I feel like some of you that are like want to pull the trigger, you're just scared to because you're not sure how it's going to turn out. It's going to turn out amazing. You cannot even imagine, okay? Literally, the wheel is in your favor. So all you need to do is make that decision. Quit looking out the window and wishing that you could do something different, or, you know, getting aggravated with this person because of the way that they are. You know what I mean? They're going to be like that whether you're there or not. So why do you have to be there for them to be like that, if that makes sense? So anyways, I really feel like something is keeping you stuck still with like this underworld card. So it's definitely, I definitely feel that. And so it's time to get moving. It's time to shed the skin once and for all. And I feel like that's what this new moon eclipse is going to be like for you guys, Aquarius. So definitely let me know down below if this resonated at all. I love to hear your feedback and I love to get your comments and read them. And yeah, so thank you guys so much. We're gonna move on to Leo. If you guys would like to watch another sign, just check the timestamps below. If you didn't watch the first half of this video where I explained the general energy for everybody, definitely make sure you go back and watch that. So anyways, I love you, Aquarius. Bye. What is going on, my lovely fellow Leos? And welcome to the Capricorn new moon solar eclipse reading. So if you didn't see the beginning, I would definitely go watch that. But anyways, just keep in mind that this reading is not just for this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse, but also for the year ahead, because this new moon eclipse is going to be affecting us and is going to set the tone for the year ahead. So that's kind of the energy that we are talking about right now. And yeah, let's get into it. So for us Leos, especially us Leo risings, we have kind of been through the ringer, especially regarding things like our health, our day-to-day routine, our day-to-day lives, our just the way that we go about things on a day-to-day basis. For those of us that, you know, even work has been an issue, work environment has been an issue. And those are the things that this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse is highlighting. Very big, very powerful. It's going to make things very, very obvious that what needs to change and what needs to be let go of in our day-to-day lives, our health life, our daily routines, our workplace, our work, our jobs, those kind of things. It's going to make those things very, very evident and very, very clear what needs to be released as we move into the new year and start a new decade, okay? So that is kind of like what's going on. This could be also like a new beginning, a shift in some way in those areas that I named off previously. It's really, really important though that you are taking time to yourself, that you are taking time to go within, that you are taking time to kind of get away from the world for a bit in your own way, practicing some kind of emotional self-care, emotional cleansing, emotional releasing, emotional healing, that you are tapping into different forms of healing and energy. This is going to be very, very important for Leo. So let's go ahead and see what we have as Leos. So we have the earth element stability reversed. We have Pisces, I believe. We have Saboteur. We have Prince. Oh my god, I kind of, for whatever reason, knew we were gonna get that card. We have Higher Perspective, Shadow. And we have the Ace of Cups and the Seven of Wands reversed. Okay, so right off the bat, I can tell all of you guys that this is very much so about letting go of what we think our physical and outside material life should look like, letting go of what we think should be happening in our material and physical world, letting go of the status quo and who's this and who's that, like I was talking about in the beginning, and being able to believe in yourself, being able to tap into your emotions, tap into your own emotional healing, no matter what, because that is what is going to get you through this coming year and this new moon solar eclipse happening, okay? So for Saboteur, it says, highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. Wow. Induces self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. Wow. Prince, romantic charm and potential for power, using power for aggrandizement. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I was not expecting this. So I kind of feel like, Leo, sorry, that some of you are self-sabotaging yourself. It's like you don't believe in yourself. You don't believe that you deserve these nice things, this nice life. You don't believe that you're good enough for it. You don't believe that you're, like, some of you want this stability, this physical reality, this status in life, but do you truly believe in it? Do you truly believe in what you want? You know what I mean? Do you truly believe in, and are you afraid of self-empowerment? Like, and the changes that that would bring to your life. Instead, it's like, I just want this now just because it looks nice. No, because once you start believing in yourself, once you start tapping into that royal energy, and not like the egotistical way, no, that's like lower vibration. You know, that would be like the opposite of what we're talking about if you are stuck in that energy. This is like truly tapping into that Leo source energy, that Leo creator source energy and power of the divine to truly transform your physical reality and your physical surroundings in the life that you want, the life that you truly deserve, because you know that you deserve it. So are you afraid of empowering your own self? Like, for whatever reason, I feel like I'm gonna cry or something. I feel like I'm getting emotional, gosh, because I'm kind of resonating with this. Wow, actually, shit. Yeah, so are you afraid? Do you feel like, you know, it's like you want these things to materialize in your life. You want the better job. You want the self-employment. You want to be the CEO. You want to have a status. You want that girlfriend. You want that boyfriend. You want the house, the kids, whatever, right? The car. But do you believe that you can have that? And it's funny because Cancer, where the North Node is the sign right behind Leo. So 12 signs past Leo. Pisces rules the 12th house. So this is healing. This is really healing, because you can have it all if you stop self-sabotaging. Some of you guys, I feel like, may also be in some kind of escapism energy, maybe sleeping all the time. I know I have. Like, I've been feeling drained and now I'm sick. Like, that's all this 6th, 12th house energy, especially for Leo risings, but you could relate to this too if you're a Leo sun or moon. So yeah, it says higher perspective and shadow. So this is really looking at the shadow, which is that 12th house energy, that Piscean energy. The shadow of this is like, yeah, you want all these nice things and you don't understand why they're not all materializing, or why something's not materializing at least. And it's because the shadow of this is that you're actually scared of it. And some of you may not even realize this while you're watching this. You may be like, no, I'm not scared. I know I deserve it. I know I want it. Take a deeper look at that. Seriously, because I don't think that's truly what's going on. And with higher perspective here, that is like that Jupiterian energy, which is right on top of this new moon solar eclipse. So we are getting a higher perspective. We're going to see where we are sabotaging ourselves, where we don't believe in ourselves, where we need to amp our own selves up to find true self-empowerment, not just like, I'm the shit, ha ha ha, you know, like, no, this is true self-empowerment. This is true self-healing. This is true self-belief, Leo. Okay, so we have the Ace of Cups and the Seven of Wands reversed. Once again, true self-belief, true self-healing, true energy, true power. You have the power within. That's what this Ace of Cups is. The Seven of Wands, you don't feel you deserve it. Seven of Wands is reversed. You feel that you're the underdog. And like, look, if you look at her upright, like, she's got the power, even though all these people want to pop her bubble. It's okay. They can't touch her. It's like the underdog. When it's reversed, it's like you're giving your power away. Quit giving your power away. Quit saying that your power is in something outside of you. You need to watch the beginning of this video if you have not. I hate keep repeating myself, but yeah, so that is what I'm seeing for Leo's beautiful, intense reading. Definitely let me know what you guys think down below and if it resonated as always. And we are going to move on to the next sign. What is going on, my lovely Pisceans, and welcome back to the channel. So anyways, welcome to your Capricorn new moon solar eclipse reading is what I really meant to say there. So yeah, let's go over it. So this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse for you, in case you didn't watch the beginning of the video where I explained a lot of really amazing, neat stuff in my opinion, but this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse for you is happening in a place that is all about networking and friends and getting out there, getting seen, putting things out into the world, you know, just social circles, self-realizations, helping people, humanity, all of that kind of stuff. So that is where this Capricorn new moon is happening for you. So this could be a really big moment for you, a really big shift in energy for you in that area of your life. But the Cancer North Node has been in your 5th house, really reconstructing the way that you go about finding pleasure, what you do for fun, what you do for joy, what you do for entertainment, also your relationship with children if you have any children, and really just teaching you to be more playful, and also like, you know, helping you to really find your true passion, your true calling, no matter what anybody else thinks about it. Okay, so that is what this is probably going to have something to do with for you. So let's go ahead and see what cards you got. So we have Mercury, Mind reversed, ninth house reversed. We also have Don, Juan, and Networker. And then we have Underworld and Love. Ooh. We have Six of Cups and Six of Wands. 2 6s. Wow. Oh my God. 2 3s. Another 3. Wow. What is going on, Pisces? You guys are getting out there and communicating. So, now with Mercury, Mind, in the 9th house, Faith reversed, I feel like this could bring up a conversation, or even like some kind of confrontation with somebody that doesn't have or share the same beliefs as you do. Okay, you guys could have a difference of opinion about something, or you could be changing your mind about something, an old belief system or something along those lines. Okay, also this could also be you not having faith in something, not being able to express your faith about something as well. Because we then have Don John, which says, spotlight your positive, seductive qualities, using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. So, and then we also have Networker. So this could definitely have something to do with your romantic life, Pisces, because with the North Node in the 5th house, that's also romance. So I feel like you guys, some of you guys are trying to date again, but you don't have a lot of faith. You don't have a lot of optimism. You're not being very open-minded about it, I kind of feel. Or there could be someone you meet that maybe is significant for some reason, because they wouldn't be coming up here, I don't think, if they weren't, but maybe they have a different belief system than you do. I do see a lot of like sexual escapades or sexual activity as well, you know, with Don John, Networker, Underworld, Love. Like, this is really like this is really like just getting down and frisky. So anyways, Networker says, enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. Shadow attributes is conveys information only for personal gain, spreads fear and falsehood. So I kind of would, if you're on the prowl or something, Pisces, I would kind of like, you know, if you're dealing with somebody that, I don't know, if you're meeting new people in any way, whether it's romantic or friend-wise, be careful around this time, because you could get into something extremely toxic, or some of you guys could be ending something that's extremely toxic, okay? And with the Six of Wands and the Six of Cups here, it's kind of like, you know, you feel lifted up, but at the same time with the Six of Cups, this is like reminiscing on the past in some way. So I really hope for some of you that some kind of ex doesn't come back from the underworld or wherever they were, you know, come back around in some way, because I really see that for a lot of you. There may be some unfinished karmic business that you thought you moved on from, but that you didn't with another person, okay? And this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse could be highlighting that for you. And this could be somehow the ripple effect, you know, in the kind of jumping off point, the kind of theme for the next year ahead, okay? So this is really important for you to pay attention to. Either you're trying to gain empathy from someone else, or someone else may be trying to gain empathy from you, okay? And it doesn't necessarily have to be an ex, although it definitely looks like for a lot of you that could be the case. For some of you, it could just be someone in your life that's kind of toxic for you or unhealthy for you, or just manipulative. It's like they see you doing good and they miss you, or you miss, you know, being like in the spotlight in someone else. It's like a lot of spotlight and attention seeking behavior here. I'm not for sure if it's from you or someone else, but that is what is going to be at the forefront for this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse, Pisces. So definitely let me know if that resonated down below. Wasn't all the way what I was expecting, but yeah, definitely let me know. I love you guys, Pisces, and we're gonna move on to the next sign. What's going on, Virgo, and welcome to your Capricorn new moon solar eclipse reading. And just keep in mind, this is not just for the Capricorn new moon solar eclipse on the 26th. It is because that energy is going to affect us and going to be kind of like the start off point, the ripple effect for the year ahead, okay? It's going to linger. So definitely keep that in mind. In case you didn't see the beginning of this video, I would definitely go watch that if you haven't. But anyways, Virgo, what is up, my lovelies? I'm so sorry I did not get to your December monthly reading, but you guys will be one of the first for January. I am so sorry, you guys. It just didn't happen, and it got really busy, and yeah. So I hope you guys forgive me. You guys know I love you. So anyways, Virgo, this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse is happening for you in a place that is all about pleasure, joy, entertainment, where you find your true heart, your true desires. And this place also rules children as well, okay? So for the past, especially year now, maybe even a little more, you've been really focusing on what desires that, you know, what things that you do for fun may have been restricting, or where you have been restricted and haven't been able to get out of your shell and have fun, or something along those lines. And it may have been really oppressive, like maybe you really need a hobby, or you've been really just trying to find your place in the world, I feel. And for a lot of you guys, I think it's been really stressful for you. And I think, you know, maybe even kids have been really stressful for you, or there's been some kind of oppressive or suppressive situations going on in your life in those areas. But this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse is going to highlight those areas. It's going to help you understand. It's going to open your mind more. It's going to give you meaning and purpose behind what's been happening the last year, and even beyond that of your life, okay? It's going to really show you where it is that your heart truly lies, okay? And so let's go ahead and see what your cards have to say. So we have Saturn age reversed. We have we have Saturn return age reversed. We have Pluto transformation reversed. Very powerful energy, because Saturn and Pluto are both in the sign of Capricorn for you, which is all about, like I said before, children, your joy, your happiness, creative endeavors, romance even, and just really finding out where your heart truly desires, where you truly feel comfortable enough to be like a kid again. And maybe you haven't been able to feel that for a while, or maybe you've been working too hard, or you've felt like, you know, you couldn't find somewhere that you really fit in, or like a good hobby for you. Anyway, so I kind of feel like with Saturn return age reversed and Pluto transformation reversed, I feel like things have been moving really slow for you. You've been learning lessons very slow, okay? But you've came a long way. Like, you've came a long way, and I feel like you're kind of cycling through, like you're ending some major cycles recently or in the near future. Let's go ahead and see what your next two cards are so we can get a little bit more clarity here. So we have Mother, we have Hero, Heroine. Okay, so I feel like, okay, so Mother says nurturance, patience, unconditional love, joy, and giving birth to life. So what are you mothering in your life, you know, and what do you want to continue to mother in this new decade? Because mothering isn't just like, oh, I have children, although you can take it in that literal sense as well, because it does mean that as well. But mothering is like, what am I giving life to? What creative projects am I giving life to? Where am I putting my energy, like we talked about in the beginning of this video? And this card's been coming up for a lot of signs. And then with Hero and Heroine, well, first off, back to Mother, the shadow attributes of Mother is smothering or abandoning children, or even like the things that you put life into, instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. We have Hero and Heroine, which says passion for a journey of personal empowerment, but then we have the shadow attribute escapism and a false sense of heroism. So some of you guys, I kind of feel like maybe have been dealing, especially for those of you that are parents, I feel like some of you guys may have been dealing with some, like, finding your escape through being a parent. And if you're not a parent, then maybe finding some kind of escape through being, through giving life to something, through helping others, nurturing others, caring for others. But I feel like that's honestly possibly been holding you back from understanding your place in the world, you know? And I feel like, you know, these two, like the shadow attributes also go along with this, especially with these two cards reversed as well. The shadow attributes play a big role here, I feel, for you guys, because Pluto and Saturn are reversed. So it's kind of like, you know, learning the lessons of, you know, becoming more independent, not needing to take care of someone, or not needing to be taken care of even. Not that most of you really need taken care of. I mean, let's just be real here. Y'all are the shit. But no, seriously, like, you want to feel like you are fixing things. You want to feel like you are doing the right thing or the good thing. But sometimes the good thing is taking care of you, bro. Not only just like with the Cancer North Node, that's in your 11th house, Virgo. So this is really about self-realization, finding your place in the world, finding an emotional foundation within you so you can be okay around other people, and so you don't feel like you need to mother other people or be the hero in a situation. That's kind of what I'm getting here. So we have ancestors, the pillar. We have the Three of Pentacles, and we have the Two of Wands. Freaking love this Two of Wands card. Okay, so a lot of family energy here coming up. Here, think about it this way, especially for those of you that are parents. Would you want your children to be how you are now? Most of the time we don't. Most of the time we're like, oh my God, I wish my children didn't make the same mistakes that I did, right? And, you know, you are a product of your own childhood and family environment. So it's kind of like you, if you want to break some kind of cycle, it's like there's a choice here with the pillar, the Two of Wands. It's kind of like, and there's also roots in both of these pictures, which I find very interesting. I feel like it's deeper, you know, and with Pluto and Saturn reverse, it's deeper. There's something deeper here. So it may be like past life stuff, but I really don't like to go into that too much. Although I do believe in past lives, I feel like that gives the person that I'm reading for like no way to really do anything. Like, oh, it's just past life stuff, can't do nothing about it, you know what I mean? And I don't really like that. So maybe if, you know, most Virgos, whether you realize it or not, most of you are very powerful people and have the ability to change the earth, have the, like, you guys are mutable earth. You guys know how to take the earth and make it into something else and change it. And so I feel like you guys should really tap into your powers, your senses, your alchemy, whatever you want to call it, and try to get in touch with your ancestors. You know what I mean? Try to get in touch with your ancestry even, to see where you come from, because I feel like, and that could definitely be what is coming up around this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse and what kind of sets the tone for the year 2020. It looks like 2020, you're going to have to make a decision. You can't keep juggling all of these different things anymore. It's like you want this social life in a way. You want to interact in this situation that you've been working in, or that you've been trying to help in some way, you've been trying to assist in some way. But with the pillar and the Two of Wands, like, are you really going to just sit there and keep thinking about what it could be like if you finally made that decision? Are you going to actually go do it, right? It's like you can tell, I love this card because you can tell in this picture she wants to like go so bad. She wants to leave, she wants to travel, but she's just sitting there looking out the window. So it's like, are you gonna go for it or not? There's something that you need to go for. There's something that you need to make the decision about. Sometimes you need to do what's best for you. And that's just that. With the pillar here, we have the two snakes wrapped around the pillar. And like, you know, basically connecting to each other. So I kind of feel like, are you going to walk through that pillar? Are you going to, and I also feel like it's balance here. It's really understanding, like, what's going on, why it all happened, why it all is the way it is, why you've been going through the transformation and the changes that you've been going through over the last year and even over the last decade. It's about mothering yourself instead of trying to be the hero. It's not that you can't help people, but you have to balance helping people with helping yourself. You also have to balance the whole give and take thing, because that's a big one for Virgo. And it's not selfish to do things for yourself. And that's something that I feel like you guys really need to get drilled into your head. Like, it is okay to do things for yourself. You guys are badasses. There's no way I could ever be a freaking Virgo, and I say that all the time. You guys are badasses. Like, I literally commend you for all of the shit that you do. None of us, like, nothing would be possible without Virgos, okay? You guys can do this. So I feel like some of you guys may feel like you missed something, like you missed out on something, or you missed some kind of opportunity, but you didn't, okay? That's just your head. You did not. The transformation is waiting on you. It's waiting on you to take that first step, baby. And I feel like you're going to really start realizing that with this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse, and that's what's going to play in the year of 2020 for you guys. So that is what I have for you, Virgo. Definitely let me know down below if it ends up resonating. I really love you guys, and thank you guys so much for all of your support, and we're gonna move on to the next signs. What is going on, my lovely Aries, and welcome to your Capricorn new moon solar eclipse reading. Hopefully you guys watched the first part of this video. It was super important. If not, you can always go back and watch after you're done watching your signs. So let's get into it. So what is this Capricorn new moon eclipse going to be all about for you guys? So Capricorn is an area for you that is all about status, public image, career, all of that shit that we were talking about in the beginning of this video, okay? Your basically your legacy, what you're here to build and leave behind, your direction in life, your determination, and what you're building upon, your career and things of that nature. And so this Capricorn new moon eclipse may be highlighting those areas of your life big time. You may be noticing that, you know, there's some things that you may want to change. You're starting to look at the bigger picture of where you really want to end up, where you really want to go, and what you really want to do with your life. Maybe you decide you want to go back to school. You know, it's never too late. Or maybe you decide you want to switch into a different position or a different career, which if you don't do now, I do see you guys probably doing in 2020 at some time. But yeah, you're wanting more. You're being realistic, but you also want more, I feel, and you're like determined, and it's really highlighting that area for you. But you're also looking at what needs to be let go of or removed or arranged in some way in order for you to move forward and accomplish these goals and really accomplish what you're setting out to accomplish in 2020. And so I feel like that's really what's kind of been on your mind. And also, you know, I feel like some of you, like a lot of you really, probably more than anything, should relate to the first half of this video, because Cancer, the node is in Cancer. So, you know, what's really going to help you fulfill and, you know, go with the flow of the universe a little bit smoother is when you really tap into that Cancerian energy, which is all about family and your personal life and your home life and, you know, where you are comfortable personally. And once you can do that, once you can be okay with yourself and be comfortable and secure within yourself emotionally and personally and behind closed doors, and you can take that out into the world, that is when you really start like working with the universe and learning the lessons. That's what this is all about for you guys, Aries. It is really not about like your status and what career you have and how much money you have, and you're gonna really learn that if you haven't already been. So it's more about who you are underneath that shell, you know, who you are, and, you know, being authentic to yourself. So, and I feel like that's what these eclipse cycles are going to be highlighting for you throughout 2020 as well, and what they have already been highlighting for you throughout 2019. But I feel like this particular Capricorn new moon solar eclipse is really going to highlight, you know, those areas in which you need to see things from a higher perspective when it comes to your career, or when it comes to your status, or the things that you're, you know, learning when it comes to your legacy and what you're building and what you want to leave behind in your direction in life, or where you think you should go. So anyways, let's go ahead and see what your guys' cards have to say. Ooh, okay, so we have Destiny reversed, third house messages reversed. Ooh, slave, beggar. Oh my gosh, Aries. Don't click out this yet. It may not be as bad as you think. Get wild, ancestors. We have death, rebirth, and the world reversed. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay, so Aries, it's not as bad as you think, but I will say this. It's very, very evident here that some of you are stuck in some kind of karmic cycle that is preventing you from your destiny. And you're almost like fighting the tide instead of flowing with the tide, kind of like we were just talking about. You don't understand, or you feel like maybe you're getting mixed messages maybe, or you're not listening to the signals or the signs from the universe in some way. So with slave, it says surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. Shadow attribute, giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. So this could be a fear of your guys's, or this could be something you feel like you're doing. With beggar, it says confronts empowerment at the level of physical survival, awakens the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem. Shadow attribute, dependence on others to the conclusion, or to the exclusion of effort. So listen, what I see here is not really that you're like a slave or a beggar or anything like that. I see more of you being scared to surrender your power, you being scared of being powerless or unworthy in some way, whether you realize it really or not. So in return, you may lash out in some way. But I kind of feel like this is you not wanting to surrender to your own power, because you don't honestly, I feel like you don't believe enough in yourself or in your own power. You're kind of like on this basic human level of survival, but taking it like a step further, where it's kind of like you don't want, some of you may feel trapped. I mean, that definitely could be the case. Some of you may feel trapped in a situation that you don't want to be in, or doing something that you don't want to be doing. And you're scared to ask for help, and that's kind of what I'm getting with beggar here. You're scared to ask for help. And so I feel like what it's going to take from you is to really get in touch with yourself, get in touch with your roots, and really surrender to change is really what I'm getting here the most, especially with get wild, death rebirth, and the world reverse. It's like you're stuck in a cycle that you've been already like through. And with death rebirth here, it's like you're scared to just like wash your hands of a situation. I don't know what situation it is, Aries. This is not kind of the reading that I was expecting, if you can't tell. But yeah, I mean, you're scared to like just completely transform and end a situation and get out of some kind of cycle. And you're also scared to kind of ask for help. So it's putting you in this position of basically feeling like a slave, or feeling like you're trapped, because you also like are feeling like you're stuck, you know. So for some of you, could just be like, I'm stuck, like I don't know what to do, I'm confused, I don't know which way my destiny is, you know, something along those lines. But you know, you're not. And I feel like you know what needs to change. I really feel like that, but you're scared of the change actually happening, you know what I mean? And I feel like this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse is going to highlight those areas for you. You know, it may bring that change to the forefront to help break you out of a cycle, to help finally end a cycle that you've been stuck in, to really help you be more liberated, right? Like I talked about in the beginning with like liberation and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I know this reading is a little bit more specific, so not all of you may be feeling this way, but this energy could come in 2020 where you kind of feel like you're stuck in a situation and you're not sure what to do, and you don't want to ask for help, you don't want to look like a beggar, and I feel like, you know, Aries is going to be put in a situation where they have to be vulnerable, because I feel like you guys are fighting it. You guys are fighting that Cancerian energy, and I get it. Like, it's water. You guys are fire. That's not your thing. But with the node in Cancer, we are learning lessons in vulnerability and emotion and humility and being able to trust, right? Being able to trust that things are going to be okay, and they will be, Aries. So hang in there. I'm not sure who this message was for exactly, but definitely let me know down below if it was you. And we're going to move on to Libra. What is going on, Libra? And welcome to your Capricorn new moon solar eclipse reading. And hello, my fellow lovely Librans. So what is going on with you guys? If you didn't watch the first part of this video, I definitely would do that before watching this part. But if not, let's do this. Okay, so this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse is happening in a part for you that is all about basically family, your home life, where you feel comfortable. And, you know, over the last, few years, there's been a lot of upheaval when it comes to family in the home and your personal life, your emotional foundations, and where you feel safe, where you feel secure. Maybe there's been a lot of kind of here and there, or moving, or just really trying to find a place that feels like home, or that you feel safe and secure, okay? And what this is doing is this has been teaching you how to embrace Cancerian energy, which has to do for you specifically with power. Like true power, true emotional and feminine and vulnerability, energy, all of that, like, and really embodying that in a powerful way, okay? And really embodying that around other people and as your reputation in a way. It's been really teaching you how to harden up in a way and be a little bit more harder, realistic, grown up, and teaching you how to also be a little bit more soft when it comes to your relationships or your, your public image, your career, things like that. There's been a lot going on when it comes to your career and, themes of your career and where you're going in life and family and just all of those types of things. So you could definitely see a highlight with this new moon eclipse around those areas of your life. There could be some old baggage or karmic cycles or old things that you're still clearing away or letting go of, especially when it comes to your family and, your foundations, anything that's still not solid. Jupiter is going to make very obvious for you. You may feel the need to travel or to move, or if you've been moving a lot, you may feel the need to settle down, or if you haven't been moving a lot, you may finally feel the need to move or something along those lines. But something is shifting in the family dynamic or the home dynamic or just in your personal life for this Capricorn new moon. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what your cards have to say. We have Neptune sacrificed, 5th house creativity, child orphan, King. We have fate, the universe. Wow. We have 5 of swords, 3 of wands. Yeah. There's been something that you've been uncomfortable with for a long time. I feel like a lot of you guys have been dealing with that feeling that I was talking about of like almost like even if you have a home or whatever, but almost feeling like you don't, almost feeling homeless in a more emotional way, not really in a physical way, but I mean for some of you possibly, but it's and this even says independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering fear of surviving, feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation, seeking inappropriate surrogate family. So this is really very much so about, learning to survive independently, but to also thrive, like through building your own emotional foundation, your own emotional security. Physically, you thrive emotionally, you know what I mean? And so anyways, King says enlightened, benevolent. Could it say that for a second? Leadership, benefiting those in your charge. Excess feelings of entitlement, rulership without restraint. So this could be someone that you're dealing with or maybe, you know, this feeling of feeling like you don't have somewhere to go, you don't have a place that feels safe and secure, you know what I mean? Or you didn't, you had to go through some hardships that really taught you how to be safe and secure within yourself and not places, you know, people or things. And that could have, like, you know, hurt your ego a little bit, or you could feel a little bit like scared to own your power like a king or queen would, right? We also have 5th house creativity, Neptune sacrifice. So I feel like, you know, you guys have had to make a lot of sacrifices over the last few years, especially when it comes to, you know, what makes you happy, what makes you feel safe, what makes you feel secure, what makes you feel comfortable. But I do feel like with Neptune in 5th house, this could be some kind of like creative project that really does well, that maybe you're thinking about, or finding some kind of pleasure or escape through creativity. Now, something I do worry about here with Neptune in the 5th house is like illegal activities for entertainment or pleasure. So be careful with that, Libra. That's like a big no-no. Don't, you know, make sure you're not drinking too much or using drugs or anything like that that's illegal. And yeah, I kind of feel like you guys almost feel like a child again or something, or there's like a child energy here that I feel like is kind of like you've had to like mature, you've had to grow up, you've had to sacrifice your inner child, and it's been really like it's been really hard, but through that you find power. And that's what fate and the universe are saying. It's like, this happened because it was fate, this happened because it was the universe helping you, even though you don't see it like that yet. This was the universe helping you. The 5 of Swords here tells me like it's not, like you don't see it like that. You feel like it was unfair, you feel like it was like a no-win situation or something, but the universe is here telling you like, I have your back, like I am helping you. You can't see it, but I am helping you. Like I've been here all along. Like you see the crows, like I've been here all along. And then like the 3 of Wands reversed is like having to leave home, having to start over again, you know what I mean? And you feel like it's unfair. Now, this doesn't have to be like, it doesn't have to mean that a lot of you are like actually picking up and leaving. This could be situations that you had to leave, that you felt like you were safe in, or that you felt like you were comfortable in, that maybe you really weren't, it turns out. Or maybe someone was taking advantage of you, or someone betrayed you in some way, you know? And it's really like, you just really feel like you've had to sacrifice your own joy, you've had to sacrifice your own happiness or your own inner child, your own comfort to deal with these hardships that life has been throwing at you, okay? So that is what I'm getting for Libra. I really think that you guys will start to see with this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse that this really did happen for a reason. I mean, we have the universe and fate here. Like, that's insane. That's like getting the world and the Wheel of Fortune. Like, I mean, this is destiny, you guys. Like, this is happening for a reason, I promise. So even though you don't see why it had to happen yet, you don't see the win yet, you will. Like, you need to be more open-minded. You need to be more optimistic. Like, you've made it through. Obviously, if you're watching this video, like, you've made it. You did that shit. You know what I mean? And I feel like the Capricorn, you know, new moon eclipse is like, yeah, you did that shit. Like, look where you were. You know what I mean? Look where you were a few years ago. Look at where you were when the decade started. Like, you've made so much progress, but you don't see it like that. You're the only one that doesn't see it like that. You went from a child to a king or a queen, right? Like, you are becoming enlightened even if you don't see it yet. So anyways, Libra, that is all I have for us as lovely Libras. Hopefully you guys resonated. Definitely let me know down below if you did. I'm very curious. And let's go ahead and move on to the next sign. What is going on, Taurus? And welcome to your solar eclipse reading for the Capricorn new moon solar eclipse. So if you didn't see the first part of this video, I would definitely go watch that because it's full of a ton of information and a ton of energy that I was channeling. So definitely make sure you go and check that out. Yeah, so basically we're going to be going a little bit over your astrology for this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse, and we have a few cards here that we're going to read as well for you. And just keep in mind that this solar eclipse is not only just happening on the 26th, but is going to set the tone for the whole year of 2020. So that is what we are reading for today. These are going to be the themes that you are going to see ripple throughout 2020. So keep that in mind. Okay, so basically Taurus, this new moon solar eclipse is happening in the sign of Capricorn, like I said before. Capricorn for you has a lot to deal with your, basically your ninth house, okay? So your belief systems and the things that, you know, the things that were engraved in you, and where you find spirituality in the world, where you feel like your place is in the world. It also has to do with higher learning and education and foreign travels and learning new things, having new experiences, getting out of your comfort zone. It has to also do with publishing and putting things out into the world. So, and you know, your Uranus that's in your sign is going to be trining this solar eclipse. So it's going to be super, super energized, super, super unexpected, surprising, unique, innovative. And on top of that, this solar eclipse is going to be on top of Jupiter, okay, which normally rules the ninth house. So this is definitely going to be a big deal for you. It's definitely going to be about looking at the bigger picture and getting out of your comfort zone. And it's going to be a shift. It's really going to shift you out of your comfort zones, especially when it comes to your belief systems. If you've had any like rock hard belief systems or morals or values, you know, that you've held on to, like the world should be this way, or people should be more like this, or, you know, I just wish that everybody could believe this way, whatever, it's going to shift you. So you may have like a belief system that basically gets broken in some way, or that basically gets stripped from you in some way, and it can feel a little bit weird, and you may feel a little bit vulnerable at first, but that's a good thing, because that means that you are working with the Cancerian energy, which is all about vulnerability and emotion, and, you know, being stripped from all of the rock hard, traditional, conservative stuff of Capricorn, and being a little bit more homey and vulnerable, and, you know, nurturing not only of others but of yourself, being a little bit more emotionally understanding, okay? And so that, I feel like, is what is really going to be the theme of you for this new moon solar eclipse that's going to start off the year for you, Taurus. So let's go ahead and see what the cards have to say for you. We have Aries, Pisces, I believe, and Aries, I am. We have Femme Fatale, Mystic. I feel like you guys have been getting that a lot. We have Paradox, Versatility. We have the Two of Pentacles reversed, and the Nine of Wands. So there's definitely something that you can't juggle, that you cannot protect anymore, that you cannot like keep, you know, trying to keep up in the air, like it's just not working anymore. So as far as Aries, I am, and Pisces, I believe, like you are what you believe, basically, is what I'm getting from that. Like we talked about, this is all about your beliefs and what you believe about yourself, what you believe about the world, like just anything to do with your beliefs, and like philosophy, spirituality, religion, just all of those like higher understanding type of things, higher wisdom type of things, your views on the world, right? And so you may have this belief that, you know, your beliefs make you who you are, but we really, the truth is like our belief systems, like the things that we believe in, the things that we truly, truly believe in, are really there to protect us, to make us feel safe, right? And that's why they're there. And once you can recognize that and open your mind a little bit and get in more of an attitude of like, okay, anything could be really true, right? Like really it could. It doesn't just have to be my way or the highway, basically, right? And I feel like some of you guys are already starting to understand this. You're starting to understand who you really are with Uranus in your sign. You're becoming, like, you're embracing your individuality, you're embracing your authenticity more, and you're changing your beliefs. Some of you guys may be really getting into a spiritual path or some kind of healing path, spirituality. We also have Mystic here, you know, which says reveals an intimate union with the divine. Femme Fatale says highlights the erotic energy of the feminine, opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. It says inappropriate use of sensuality, attachment to money and power. So I feel like a lot of you are really just getting in touch with your own feminine energy, whether you're a male or female. You're really getting in touch with like your sexuality even around this time, and really your spirituality. I feel like a lot of you guys could be doing shadow work or have been doing shadow work throughout the year, and I feel like you guys are making a decision. There was something that you were kind of like back and forth on with versatility, the Two of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands. There's something that you were kind of like indecisive about, but I feel like you guys are finally like, okay, I got this, I'm determined, I'm finally doing this, I'm finally making this decision. Okay, Taurus, so I just stopped so I could read because this is one of my new Oracle decks, to read what they had for Paradox. And listen to this. This is insane. It says, this card is a reminder that we can hold two extremes at the same time. Sometimes we focus on things, whether internal or external, and see them as one-sided. But to hold the paradox within us requires strength, to see our most brilliant qualities and our most ugly, to acknowledge that they both live within us as a gateway to growth. And that's what I see here with the Two of Pentacles. I feel like some of you guys, I kind of feel like kind of what I was saying before about some of you guys, like some of you guys are making a decision about something, but I also feel like there could be some kind of opposition, or there could be someone that doesn't agree with your beliefs or your opinions about something, or you could be a little bit too one-sided with the Two of Pentacles reversed, right? Not seeing both sides, and that's what versatility is saying as well. It's like, be more versatile. Don't be so one-sided. Don't, be so determined on one side to stick up for one side. Try to see the bigger picture. And I feel like that's what this Capricorn new moon eclipse is really going to do for you. And I also feel that, it's really, really important that you do not let other people's opinions define you, but at the same time, you don't let your beliefs define you either, right? Like, it's okay to stick up for yourself. It's okay to have a different opinion, but always know that if you believe in something, if you're saying, this is who I am, or I believe in this, just remember the opposite of that is allowed to be true too. You can't just be one-sided and say, this is it, this is all there is, this is the only truth. And I feel like that is what this Capricorn new moon eclipse is really teaching you guys, Taurus. So definitely pay attention to that. There could be something that you're being a little bit too one-sided about, that you're not wanting to look either at your side of the coin or at the other side of the coin, basically. So if you're getting in a disagreement with somebody or something along those lines, you may need to realize that whatever you're saying is true, so is the opposite. Okay, like that's just how it is. Like if you're saying, I want to be patient, you're saying that you're impatient, basically, right? Like you can't have one without the other. Both sides can live within us at one time, and that's okay. So just keep an open mind. Try not to be too protective of one side of the coin, because there's two sides to every coin. And that's what I really feel like you guys need to remember around this time, because for whatever reason, this is like a really big deal with all four of these cards. I believe like this is really like a big deal. I mean, this is like a very clear as day kind of message. So definitely remember that, Taurus. If you would like more information on all of that shadow work and how to kind of look at opposites and really understand the other side of things, being more versatile and all of that, we've gone over all of that in my SOULOLOGY course and continue to go over that. So if you're interested, you can check the description below. It's a monthly spirituality course where we go over all kinds of different topics and learn all kinds of different cool, neat things about spirituality and collective consciousness and just all kinds of cool topics and how to heal ourselves, and it's just really cool. You would love it. So anyways, we're gonna move on to the next sign. I love you guys. Bye. What is going on, my lovely Scorpions, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to your Capricorn new moon solar eclipse reading and forecast. So just keep in mind that this energy that we're going to talk about can last up to the whole year, because this new moon solar eclipse is definitely going to ripple through the year of 2020. So just keep that in mind. And if you haven't seen the first part of this video where I went into great detail about this new moon eclipse and the energy that we'll all be feeling and a lot of other important stuff. I would definitely go and check that out if you haven't already, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it and see what's coming for my lovely Scorpions. I am so sorry I did not get to your December reading, but I promise you and Virgo, who I also didn't get to, will be some of the first readings to come out for January, which will be coming within the next week. So get prepared for that. But I'm so sorry, you guys. I really did not mean to do that. It just got really busy. I got really overwhelmed and it just didn't happen. And by the time I could have done it and could do it, it was too late. And I was just like, well, I'm not going to do it for literally a week or two. So yeah, sorry about that. And anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. We have the 10th house, the world, Mercury retrograde reinvention, prostitute, which isn't what you think. We have a liberator. We have get creative. We have fate. We have the 4 of Pentacles and the 2 of Pentacles. Very interesting. Okay, so first things first, let's go over a little bit of the astrology that's happening for you guys, Scorpio. So this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse is happening in a spot for you that has to deal with your local environment. It has to deal with kind of socializing, networking on a kind of like a small scale. So collaborations, meetings, busyness, kind of like going out, but kind of like in your local surroundings, your local environment and things like that. And really just dealing with communication, socializing, your mind, those kind of things. So there could be some things highlighted that it's really time to let go of, especially when it comes to your family or your personal life or your personal relationships. There could be some big realizations, big shifts, big epiphanies that happen when it comes to your personal relationships, when it comes to possibly where you're living in some way, or to do with your home, or to do just with your family, or just the city or the environment that you live in. Just something along those lines. Siblings could be a theme that come up around this time as well. But it definitely has a lot to do with that kind of energy, with networking and socializing, and even technology, that kind of thing. Some of you may work with technology or something like that. So anyways, with that being said, the North Node is in Cancer though, which is your 9th house. So this is like getting out and seeing the bigger picture, and traveling and getting out of your comfort zone. So some of you guys may be pushed out of your comfort zone a little bit. With this new moon solar eclipse in Capricorn, there may be some news that comes in, or there just may be some news that you have to deliver in some way. And I also feel like it's kind of be a little bit about like exchanges of information in some way. So also it could be like an exchange of money in some way as well, or like material things, something along those lines. So let's get to the cards. So we have 10th house, the world, Mercury retrograde reinvention, prostitute, liberator, get creative, fate, 4 of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles. So with the 10th house, the world here, and Mercury retrograde reinvention, I feel like you are reinventing yourself and your place in the world. You are reinventing basically what you want to do with your life. Maybe your career, your brand, like if you have like some kind of brand, if you're a brand owner or something. You're really reinventing how you want the world to see you. And you could be creating things for the world, or you could be really reflecting on your place in the world, really reflecting on your direction, your purpose, where you're going, and what you're here to do in some way. Now with prostitute here, this is basically all about, placing material security above self-empowerment and above spirit. So, or thinking that like that's more important than, your spirit, your own self-empowerment. So I feel like some of you guys, there's definitely like a money thing with the 4 of Pentacles and the 2 of Pentacles here. It's kind of like a balancing act with money. Some of you guys could be a little bit, like, you know, with this Four of Pentacles here, some of you guys could be trying to save money, but, you know, by juggling 2 jobs or 2 different work streams, or some of you guys could be making some kind of deal to save money, something along those lines. This could be some kind of collaboration, or some kind of give and take thing where, you know, you're having to negotiate something for you to save money and feel secure. And that's kind of a theme here with prostitute. It's like, you know, there could be a material security thing going on here with you guys, okay? With Liberator, it says freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns. And that's a big thing for you guys as well with this Capricorn energy. This is going to show you your negative thought patterns. This is going to show you how you can get stuck in cycles and the thought patterns that you need to reinvent, that you need to kind of break out of in some way, right? For the shadow attributes of Liberator, it says imposing your own tyranny over those you claim to liberate, ignoring legitimate constraints. So you may be trying to either liberate yourself or liberate other people, Scorpio, but you don't want to end up, you know, you don't want to end up being the person that you're trying to liberate people from, or being the thing that you're trying to liberate yourself from in some way. So I do kind of feel like some of you guys are, you know, this new moon solar eclipse is definitely going to liberate you. It's definitely, I think, going to get you back to the basics of like what's important, what do you want to create, because the 3rd house can also be kind of a creative house because it deals with our mental, you know, how we interact with our environment. So you definitely, we do have get creative here. So I feel like you guys are definitely working on something. There could be a project or something along those lines. We also have fate. So I feel like for some of you, you know, some event definitely could happen that liberates you from something, and it may not seem like that at first. It may be scary at first, but it definitely is for the better. And we go from the 4 of Pentacles to the 2 of Pentacles. So I kind of feel like some of you guys may feel a little bit like worried about money or a material physical situation in some way, or you may be trying to do too much because of this worry about money, or putting material things, material security above self-empowerment. And I feel like really getting in and reinventing yourself, reinventing your creativity, reinventing your thought patterns is going to help liberate you guys, okay? So that is really what I'm getting for you guys. And remember, this could be the thing that like really ripples through 2020 for you guys. So if you guys want to come back and watch this video later on, please feel free. But yeah, that is everything that I'm getting for you guys, Scorpio. I love you so, so much. Thank you so much for not freaking out because I didn't upload your video. I really, really appreciate that. And yeah, we are going to move on to the next sign. What is going on, my lovely Geminis, and welcome to your Capricorn new moon solar eclipse reading. I hope you guys are doing well. So let's get into it. If you didn't see the first part of this video where we went really in depth for the energy of this new moon and why it is such a big fucking deal, then I would definitely go watch that if you haven't already. But yeah, let's do this. So this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse for you guys, Gemini, is happening in a spot for you that really deals with the challenges that one goes through in life. I'm not gonna lie to you. We've been talking about this already, but just deep, intimate situations in our life that we deal with, or intense situations in our life that we deal with. There are upswings to this this placement for you guys, but kind of it does deal with some of the harder hardships of life, but you guys have already been dealing with this energy, so it's nothing really new, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, you guys are dealing with, you know, the more taboo areas of life, debt, transformation, change, psychology, investigations, these types of energies. But you're gonna be okay. You guys have already been dealing with that stuff. So with this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse, it's going to highlight those areas. Again, it's going to highlight the hardships that you may have went over in the last couple of years in order for you to reflect and see the bigger picture. Okay, it's going to help you also shift into a new energy, a new way of looking at things, shift into a new outlook on things. And this could also involve significant relationships in your life as well. It's things that you've learned from significant relationships in some way. But basically, this is really going to be a sweeping away for you. Like, really just peace out the last 10 years, peace out the last decade, here I am, what's up 2020. I mean, it's just really like a full detox for you, and a huge shift, a huge moment of enlightenment for you guys. It's kind of like seeing in the dark is how I'm kind of feeling it. But anyways, so yeah, you guys have been going through all of that to really learn what it is in life that you truly value, what it is in life that truly has meaning, okay? And once you can find that energy, once you can get into that energy stream of what is truly valuable, what is truly meaningful, it doesn't have to be money or cars or possessions, but what is truly, truly valuable and meaningful to you, once you can find that and be vulnerable about it and be humble about it, that is when you truly start to rise and you truly start to go with the universe and the flow of the universe instead of against the tide, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. So anyways, let's go ahead and see what cards you guys have. So we have Mercury the Mind, surprising. Jupiter Return, benefits. We have Seeker, Poet. We have the Wildling. And we have Love. We have Ten of Swords reversed. We have Temperance. Ooh, okay. Wow. So it looks like here that there may be something unresolved from your past that may come back around for you to resolve. But you're going to be able to see the bigger picture. You're going to be able to be the bigger person with Temperance here. This is telling me that there's going to be a mutual understanding. There's going to be a negotiation. There's going to be it's going to be nice, okay? Like, and this could be something that really helps you move on, Gemini. And it could definitely have something to do with the relationship with Love here, with the Wildling. I'm really paying attention to those swords. As you can see, it almost looks like a truce, right? And so I really feel like there's going to be some kind of understanding of a situation that maybe happened in the past, some kind of higher understanding. You're going to be able to be the bigger person. You're going to be able to walk away and see the bigger picture, okay? So that's just right off the bat what I'm getting. So we have Mercury, Mind, Jupiter, Return, benefits. So once again, return, that's kind of what I'm seeing in this Ten of Swords, something returning. So, and like I was saying, this new moon solar eclipse is conjunct Jupiter. So this is very much so about like coming, you know, seeing the higher wisdom of everything, seeing why things have to happen the way it did. And even though it was wild, there was love all along that maybe you couldn't see, right? And then we have Seeker, thirst for wisdom and truth wherever they are. Shadow attribute, inability to commit to a path once found. Then we have Poet, expresses soul insights in symbolic language. Shadow attribute, turns a lyric gift to negative or destructive effects. So I definitely feel like, you know, you've been on this journey, but maybe you felt a little bit like, where do I go? I feel lost. You know what I mean? Like, because you couldn't make sense of your past. You couldn't reconcile something, Gemini. But I feel like it's almost like there's some kind of message with Mercury, Mind, and Poet here. I really feel there's some kind of message that comes to you, some kind of like insight that comes to you, like, because it says expresses soul insights in symbolic languages, so it may come through from something symbolic, something synchronistic, like you've been looking for something for a while and not sure what it was, and it's like you get this moment of clarity, this moment of like, aha, that makes sense, you know what I mean? And you're able to finally move on, you're able to finally set yourself free. I am also getting, this does happen sometimes. This doesn't happen a lot with me, but it does happen sometimes. There is somebody that I feel for some of you that passed on with the Ten of Swords here. the Temperance, which is like the angel, the poet, the seeker, the love, that wants to communicate with you to tell you that you're okay, or that they're okay. Yeah, I don't like when this happens because it's very weird for me. But yeah, there's definitely someone with the Ten of Swords, Temperance, that wants you to know that they're protected, that they are okay, and that it's okay for you to move on. It's okay to live your life. And they've been probably giving you little synchronistic signs here and there, or maybe you've been wondering why there aren't any, and there are. You just need to seek. But whatever happened is really going to help you have this thirst for knowledge, have this thirst for truth and wisdom. But you just need to commit, okay? You need to commit. And I kind of feel like that's kind of what I'm channeling through this reading right now. So hopefully that makes sense to someone. Okay, Gemini, so I wanted to pause for a second because I wanted to, this is one of my new Oracle decks, and I wanted to see what it had to say about this Wildling card. And it says, pulling the Wildling card indicates a time to connect to the most primal parts of yourself. This may mean you need to detach a bit from people around you so you can hear the whispers of your deepest knowing without the influence of others. The Wildling is raw, empowered, and independent. Many people are intimidated by them because they need little from others and prioritize radical freedom, which can be unsettling as most of society operates within unspoken expectations and contracts. The Wildling burns the contracts and heads into the woods. Wildling comes to us as an ally when we need to break free of the systems that limit us. The Wildling within us remembers a time where we lived with the land, when we walked barefoot, when our lives were in alignment with the natural world. The Wildling is a call for remembrance. A good way to invoke Wildling is to dive deeper into your body and hear what it needs from us on our most primal level. Once again, you know, it talked about getting in touch with your inner self to hear messages and to hear what your soul is saying and to get messages. And I really feel like, you know, expresses soul insights. It goes back to that once again. So definitely, I really feel like that's something that you guys need to do. You guys need to, like, you know, with the seeker here as well, go out seeking yourself right now. Go out seeking yourself. And through that journey, you will find so many different synchronicities. Go get lost for a bit, you know what I mean? To seek that higher wisdom, to seek that balance and that love within yourself. And I kind of feel like that's what the Capricorn new moon solar eclipse is going to set off for you guys. And that's going to really, really, really help you guys, Gemini. So that is what I'm getting. I hope that I hope that resonated. I hope that was helpful. Definitely let me know down below. I always love to hear what you guys think and what you guys have to say. So please don't be a stranger. And yeah, we're going to move on to, last but not least, Sagittarius. What is going on, Sagittarius? And welcome to your Capricorn new moon solar eclipse reading for December 26th. And also, that's also going to ripple on throughout 2020, so just keep that in mind. So hopefully you guys watched the first part of this video where I explain in great detail what the energy is going to be like for us and how just insane this event is and why it's so insane and why it's such a big deal. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it, you guys. So basically, for you guys, this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse is happening in a spot for you that is all about your values, your morals, your money, your income, the things that you believe are valuable, the things that are valuable to you, what you put meaning into. It also rules your talents, your self-worth, where you find worth in yourself and things outside of you. It also rules your possessions, okay? So these are the themes that this new moon solar eclipse is going to be highlighting for you guys as Sagittarians. Also, you know, with Jupiter being here now, this is your ruling planet, it's going to be conjunct the new moon solar eclipse. So this is also going to be a big deal. It's going to amplify that energy. So this could be some kind of major shift or major, you know, change or moment of clarity or revelation when it comes to the themes that I already mentioned to do with money and values and morals and talents and all of that and possessions. There could be some major, some kind of major shift in that area that is going to ripple throughout 2020, that is going to set the stage for what's coming for everyone in 2020. But for you guys, this is definitely going to have to do with the themes that I've mentioned, okay? But the goal here is, for Sagittarius, is we have the North Node in Cancer, right? And that's the direction that we're going. That's the energy we need to embrace so we can be in the flow of the universe, and so we can, you know, flow a little bit more easier and with the tide instead of against the tide. And so the North Node in Cancer for you guys, this is really about shared resources, shared income, shared finances, letting change happen, being able to let go, being able to be emotionally vulnerable and not rely on old ways or old comfort zones when it comes to the things that you used to put worth and meaning and value into, that may not really be that valuable anymore, that may not be what you really need anymore. Old needs that, you know, just aren't cutting it for you anymore. So it may be time to change some of those things, let go, be a little bit more emotionally vulnerable, be able to ask for help and rely on someone else sometimes if you're struggling. So those are the kinds of things that you could see come up as a Sagittarius. So let's go ahead and see what your guys' cards have to say. So we have Black Moon, Lilith, Mystery. Oh, that's right. You guys had 3 come out. We have 10th house, the World, Heart of Fortune, Increase. Oh, wow. Wow, 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 wow. That's crazy. Okay, let's keep going. So we have Student and Mother. God, so many people have been getting that energy, or that card, I mean. We have the Weaver and we have the Creator. We have the Ten of Wands and the Four of Cups reversed. Okay, interesting. So what I see here, I see here that, okay, first of all, with Black Moon, Lilith, Mystery, okay, so I feel like for a long time you feel like you've kind of been in the shadows with something, or like something's been a little bit mysterious to you, like you couldn't quite put your finger on something. It could definitely have to do with the career or your income or your money, or with part of fortune here. Now, this could also have something to, Black Moon Lilith is also about our sexuality, our shadow side, and things like that. So I kind of feel like if you guys can embrace that vulnerability, that energy I was talking about before, that emotion, the shadow side, which is that Cancer North Node, if you guys can embrace that, this is how you will gain. And for some of you that have been doing work on yourself, that have been doing shadow work on yourself, you may see some kind of payoff around this Capricorn new moon solar eclipse. Now remember, it's a little bit different for everybody. It's going to affect people's charts differently. So always keep that in mind, that these are general readings, but at the same time, not everybody feels this energy on the day of the eclipse, right? Some people, like, things happen after or before, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, it's like I don't even know, like there's just like so much going on here. We'll come back to that. So for Student, it says humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. Shadow attributes: arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge, unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. So once again, this is like learning lessons, that Jupiterian vibe, because I know a lot of you guys were like, where's my blessings? You know, Jupiter just left our sign. And it's not your fault. A lot of people explain Jupiter like it's freaking Santa Claus, and that's just not the case, unfortunately. So anyways, it's not freaking Santa Claus. And it does teach lessons, so that's kind of the unfortunate part. But I feel like if you guys have been staying open-minded, if you guys have been nurturing yourselves, if you guys have been trusting in the unknown, right, then you will see payoff around this new moon solar eclipse in Capricorn. We also have the Weaver and the Creator. So I feel like you guys are definitely possibly making connections or creating connections. So yeah, with the Weaver here and the Creator, it's like, you know, it's time to create a new stream of something, whether it's a new stream of income or a new path, to go on a new path. And that's kind of what I see here with the 10 of Wands. It's like, I feel like some of you guys are sick of the same old stuff. Some of you guys like want to pack up and leave or travel or something, you know, and I feel like there's others of you that have been carrying the weight of something on you for way too long. And maybe it has something to do with family, with the mother thing here. Maybe it has something to do with like, you feel like someone is always above you, or you feel like you're having to like you're supposed to be like the student of someone or the helper of someone. I don't know. But I kind of feel like for some of you, you need to own your creative energy. You need to literally, like, I mean, with the 10th house of the world here, I feel like, you know, some of you are confused about what you're supposed to be doing in the world, about your place in the world. That's really what it is. I feel, honestly, like that just kind of came to me. I was struggling there for a minute, but I feel like some of you guys were really confused about what your place was in the world and where your part of fortune was, like where you could really settle down and feel at home. And maybe it's just been constantly like shifting and you're not sure. And that's kind of what the Weaver is about. It's like, you know, the different threads, and like what threads are you holding on to that no longer are your truth anymore. Like we have this sword here, like, you know, it's about your truth, and what threads do you need to cut, or what threads do you need to make something better happen here, you know, like what threads do you need to create to make something better happen, because you've been carrying around, you know, you've been missing options because you've been carrying around the same stuff for so long. But I do feel like you're almost to the finish line with something. You're almost to the point where you're like, you know what, I'm done. Like, I'm done waiting, basically. We're not doing this anymore. Like, we are out of here. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I'm getting for you guys. I feel like some of you guys maybe are being held back from really doing what you want to do out in the world, basically. And it's really kind of holding you back, and really from being who you are as people, because of where you're putting your time and energy, what you're putting value into, what you're putting your meaning into is holding you back now. So hopefully that makes sense for some of you. Definitely let me know down below. But that is basically everything I am getting for Sagittarius. It's definitely time to create new things with Mother here. This is all about creating new things, having patience and nurturing them. We also have the Creator here. We have the Student, which is about being open-minded and learning and sticking to a path. And yeah, I feel like you guys really want to like get out there, but I feel like some of you guys feel stuck maybe or something, and you're really unsure of like what to do. But it's better to just do something instead of waiting around for something to happen, you know what I mean? But I feel like this Capricorn new moon is definitely going to be a huge moment for you. Since it's conjunct your ruling planet, it's definitely going to be a huge revelation for you, a huge shift for you. So that's awesome. But anyways, you guys, I love you. Thank you guys so much for watching this, and that is the end of this video. I've been filming for hours, so I hope you all like this. But anyways, I will see you guys in my other videos. Have a great new moon solar eclipse. Bye.